Now, when I go to sentence number 1, when I said, she is a beautiful woman, I'm putting emphasis on this woman being beautiful. So the beautiful is the adjective. So I want us to get the difference between the adjectives and the nouns. So we have countries whose proper adjectives are not similar to the nouns. Are we there? So we are going to have examples of such countries whereby the proper adjectives are not similar to the proper nouns. So we are going to have a table and we are going to have a look at that. We are going to have a look at that. We are going to have a table and we are going to have a look at that. So let's have a look at the table that is on your screen. Let's have a look at the table that is on your screen. Our first proper noun is England, and the proper adjective is English. The proper adjective is English. Then you'll find that if the proper adjective is English, and even the noun shall be English. So if you're constructing a sentence, let me take an example. There are some items that are made from England. Let me assume you're describing a car. You will say, this is an English car, meaning that that car was made in England. That is why it is not right if you say, she's my English teacher, because that teacher does not come from England. So when I'm talking of English as a proper adjective, I can use it to describe objects that come from England. But then I can also talk of myself. I can talk of myself as an English. So if I say I'm an English, it means I come from England. So that is the difference between the adjective and a noun. If I'm talking of an item that is made in Uganda, I'll say this is a Ugandan bag. Now I'm using it as an adjective, but I can use it as a noun. When I'm talking of myself, I'll say I'm a Ugandan. Jocelyn is a Ugandan. So I'm using Ugandan as a noun. So we have countries whose proper adjectives are not similar to proper nouns, to the nouns themselves. Let me take an example of Poland. Poland, Abeja. Abeja. Abeja, are you with me? Unmute, please. Abeja. Abeja. Abeja, are you with me?
Yes, teacher.
Abeja?
Yes, teacher.
So we looked at Poland. Which proper adjective do we get from Poland?
Polandish.
Sorry?
Polish.
Polish, good. So now the proper adjective is Polish, meaning that if you're describing anything from Poland, you're going to use it Polish.
Polish. That car
Yes.
is from Polish.
You say, I have a Polish bag, meaning that your bag is from Poland.
Polish.
But then if you're talking of yourself, you're born of Poland, you're not going to say, I'm a Polish. You're not going to say, I am a Polish, but you will say, I am a Pole. You will say, I am a Pole. Let's look at that table on your screen. The table on your screen.
Paul.
Yes, Paul.
People from
If you're alone, then you
Poland are
say,
called Paul.
I'm a
From
Paul.
Turkey are called
Then
Turk.
when you're
From Scotland are called Scot. From Spain, they're called Spaniard. From Denmark, they're called Den. From Finland, they're called Finn. From
please, whoever is reading, stop it.
Irishland.
Whoever is reading, stop it. Whoever is reading, please stop it. So we are looking at Poland, whereby when you're describing any object from Poland, you'll use Polish. I have a Polish bag. I have a Polish car. That car is from Poland, are made of Poland. But then when you're talking of yourself, then you say, I am a Pole. When you're many, then you say, we are Poles. Then the next one is Turkey. The next one is Turkey. When you're describing any object from Turkey, you'll use Turkish. Okay? Then, if you're talking of yourself, if you're using it as a noun, then you'll be a Turk. You'll say, I am a Turk. When you're many, you become Turks. We have another country, that is Scotland. The proper adjective is Scottish, but the noun is Scot. That is singular. And if it is being used in plural form, it will become Scots. Another country is Spain. The adjective is Spanish, and the noun will be Spaniard, singular form. If you're many, then that is Spaniards. Another country, we have Denmark. The proper adjective from Denmark, if you remember, was Danish. But then a person from Denmark is called a Den. And when there are many, they are Danes. We go to Finland. Finland, the proper adjective is Finnish. And a person from Finland is called a Finn, singular form. When there are many, they are Finns. We go to Ireland, has the same as the proper adjective and the noun. English has the same. Then we go to Iceland. When you look at Iceland, the proper adjective is Icelandic, and the noun will be Icelander. If you're one, then plural form, Icelanders. We are going to Netherlands, has the same proper adjective and the noun. We are using Dutch. So people from Netherlands are called the Dutch. Then when you go to Holland, they have the same nationality as the adjective and the noun, and we are also using Dutch. We go to Wales, the same. The adjective is Welsh, and the noun is also Welsh. Then Switzerland, same as the adjective and the noun, we are using Swiss. Thailand, the adjective is Thai, and the noun is also Thai, but the plural form will be Thais. The same to Swazi, adjective is Swazi, and the noun is also Swazi, but the plural will be Swazis. Then we got Croatia. The adjective is Croatian. Then the noun is Croat. You say, I am a Croat. When there are many, you say, we are Croats. Germany, the same. We looked at the adjective as German. You eliminate the Y, the same as the noun. And when there are many, the plural form is Germans. Philippines, you look at the country as Philippines. The adjective is Philippine, and the noun will be Filipino. That is singular form, and the plural form will be Filipinos. We are having another interesting one as Sweden. We said our adjective is Swedish and the noun is Swede. So you say I'm a Swede, and when you're many, we shall say Swedes. So girls, let's take note of that. We have those countries whose adjectives are not the same as their nouns. So you must take note of that. Okay, now let's go back to our exercise and we go through that exercise that we were given. We are still handling set 1. We are still handling set 1. We are still handling set 1. We had answered up to number 5. So we're supposed to arrange the words in alphabetical order. We're arranging the words in alphabetical order. Yes, let me get somebody to read for us the words. Kataike Hilda. Kataike. Kataike Hilda. Kataike, are you right there? Kataike? Unmute. Kataike Hilda, unmute. Read for us the words.
Japanese.
Sorry. No, we are arranging the words in alphabetical
Japanese.
order. We are arranging the words in alphabetical order. That exercise that has number 6. Number 6. Can you read for us the words that we are arranging?
British.
Yes.
British. German.
Yes.
Swiss.
And then?
Iraq.
Iraq. Wonderful. When we are arranging, thank you. When we are arranging words in alphabetical order, we follow the dictionary order, the letters in their alphabet. Okay? So when you look at our words in number 6, they all begin with different letters. The first word begins with B. Then we have Germany that begins with G. We have Swiss that begins with S. We have Iraq that begins with I. Now, when you arrange those words, you'll find that we are going to have British as our number 1, followed by German, Iraq, and then Swiss. Number 7. Number 7. I want somebody to read the words in number 7. Martha Mutoni.
Gabonese.
Who is reading? Martha Mutoni. Martha, can you read us the words?
Gabonese.
Yes.
German.
Yes.
Ghanaian and Greek.
And Greek. So when you look at those words, you'll find that all the words begin with letter G. So if we are to use the cancelling method, you cancel the G in each word. Then consider the second letter, whereby we shall have A, E, R, and H. Now, when you look at those letters, you'll find that letter A comes first. Then we go to letter E, then H, and R. Therefore, our answer will be Gabonese, followed by German, Ghanaian, and then Greek. Okay. I want somebody to read us the instruction to the next exercise. Tino. Tino.
Rewrite the sentences giving the
plural form of the underlined words.
Wonderful. Read for us number 8. Read number 8.
We met a Ugandan lady along the Kenyan border.
And what are our underlined words?
A Ugandan lady.
A Ugandan lady. So you're supposed to give the plural of a Ugandan lady. So give us the answer too.
Come on, the answer is here.
Give us the answer.
We met Ugandan ladies along the Kenyan border.
Good. So you're going to eliminate a because a is singular, and then you change lady to ladies. So the answer will read, met Ugandan ladies along the Kenyan border. Number 9. I need somebody to read number 9.
Someone removes their
Laura?
hearing aid.
Laura?
There was a Tanzanian in a car accident.
Sorry?
There was a Tanzanian in the car accident.
What are the underlined words?
There
Underlined words?
was a Tanzanian in the car accident.
Can you identify the underlined words?
Was a Tanzanian.
Now, can we get the plural form of the underlined words?
There were Tanzanians in the car accident.
Good, good. We continue. So the was will change to were, and Tanzanian will change to Tanzanians. Number 10. Number 10. Number 10. Owengabo. Owengabo. Owengabo.
Yes, teacher.
You're reading number 10.
A Ugandan participated most in the Olympic Games.
Can you identify the underlined words?
A Ugandan.
And what will be the plural form?
Ugandans.
And what shall our answer read?
Ugandans participated most in the Olympic Games.
Good. We go to the next exercise. Next exercise, Patience. Can you read the instruction? Patience. Unmute and read the instruction.
Use the correct form of the word in brackets to complete the sentences.
Good. Read number 11.
Mr. Pinto is the politest I have ever seen.
And what do we have in brackets?
Belgium.
Belgium. So what will be the answer? Are you going to use an adjective or a noun? Sorry?
A noun.
A noun. Now, which noun is got from Belgium?
Belgium.
Belgium. So read the answer again.
Mr. Pinto is the politest Belgian I have ever seen.
Good. Thank you very much. And don't forget to begin with the capital letter because we are dealing with proper adjectives and proper nouns. Number 12. Number 12. I need somebody to read for me. Number 12. Number 12. Rina. Rina. Rina, are you there? Nicole Martha? Nicole Martha? Nicole Martha K. Kauchi. Read for us number 12.
A friend of that who smokes cigarettes.
And in brackets we have
the speaker wants you to talk.
Burundi. So what will be our answer?
A friend of that Burundian smokes cigarette.
Sorry?
A friend of that Burundian smokes cigarette.
Sorry?
A friend of that Burundian smokes cigarette.
Now there is something that you must understand from number 12. As we always say, a friend of mine, a friend of hers, a friend of theirs. So in that particular number, number 12, you would say a friend of that Burundians. Okay? A friend of that Burundians. So you put an apostrophe and add on letter S. As we always say, a friend of mine, a friend of hers, a friend of. So the answer is a friend of that Burundians smokes cigarette. Take note of that. Number 13. Nangendo Maria. Nangendo Maria.
Yes, teacher.
You're reading number 13.
Having related well with the Dutch girl, he was forced to marry her.
And in brackets we have?
Uganda.
So what will be the answer?
Having related well with the Ugandan girl,
Yes.
he was forced to marry her.
Now, before you go off, have we used Ugandan as an adjective or as a noun?
We have used Ugandan as an adjective.
That's so cool. Thank you very much. We continue. We continue. We are going to lesson 2 now. That structure, we are using I am a Are we there? Let me have a Sanat, a fruit, to take us through number 14. Number 14. Akrut, unmute and you give us the answer. Akrut. Akrut, are you with me?
Yes.
We go.
I am a Ugandan, so I am from Uganda.
Thank you. Number 15. Namubiru Michelle. Michelle Nambiru. Give us the answer to number 15.
Yes, teacher.
Number 15, give us the answer. Michelle, we are listening. Michelle. Nachimuli. Nachimuli. Nachimuli.
I am a Ugandan, so I am.
No, you're reading number 15. We are done with number 14.
I am a
Number
Kenyan,
15.
so I am from Kenya.
Good. Number 16, Nachuala Mary. Nachuala Mary. Nachuala. You're reading number 16.
I am a Rwandan, so I am from Rwanda.
Thank you very much. Number 17. Number 17, Fortunate. Fortunate. You're giving us the answer to number 17.
I am a Ghanaian, so I am
Ghanaian. Is
from Ghana.
fortunate. That word is Ghanaian. Can you read again?
I am a Ghanaian, so I'm from Ghana.
Thank you. And lastly, Angela, give us the answer to the last number to that exercise. Angela, Nandi, you're playing. Nandi Sebunya, you're playing. Angela, unmute and give us the answer. Angela, are you there? Angela? Angela, make sure you get better headsets. You're talking, but we are not getting you. Somebody else to give us an answer? Biamukama? Biamukama? Biamukama, give us the answer. Number 18.
Yes, teacher. I am an African. I am an African, so I come from Africa.
Next time, make sure you are attentive, okay?
Yes, teacher.
Yeah. Okay. We run to lesson 3 using not but Our example says he is not a German, but a French. So when you look at that structure, we are using nouns now. We are using nouns. So let's go through the activity. Let's go through the activity. Somebody to read the instruction. Nandaula Alisha, read the instruction. Nandaula Alisha. Nandaula. You've taken a leave without my permission. Namirembe. Namirembe, you read us the instruction. Namirembe, unmute and read the instruction. Princess Leia is playing. Namirembe. Nantale Angela. Nantale.
Yes, teacher.
Nantale. Read us the instruction.
Rewrite the sentences using not but.
So read number 1.
Opal is an Egyptian. He is not an Australian.
So can you give us the answer?
Opal is not an Australian, but an Egyptian.
Not an Australian, but an Egyptian. Thank you very much. Number 2, Rose Kancha. Rose Kancha, read number 2. Unmute, please. Rose Kancha, unmute and read number 2. Kancha Rose. Okay, let's get somebody else who is ready. Winfred. Winfred.
Yes, teacher.
Read number 2.
Teacher.
Read number 2. Winfrey? Read number 2.
Do British come from Germany?
No. Number 2. You're not attentive. I don't know where you are. Let's have Ayabaziba Jovia. Ayabaziba Jovia. Read number 2 of lesson 3.
Paula is not a French. She is a Scottish.
So can you give us the answer?
Paula is not a French but a Scottish.
Sorry?
Paula is not a French but a Scottish.
Can you identify the mistake in that sentence? Paula? Paula?
Paula.
Can you identify the mistake in that sentence? Ayabazibo?
Yes, sir.
Can you identify the mistake in that sentence? How do you call a person from Scotland?
Scottish.
Really? Really? Somebody help Ayabazibo? How do you call a person from Scotland? Lacote. Lacote. Patience. How do you call a person from Scotland? Lacote. Melissa? 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 Unmute.
Scott.
Scott. So what is the answer?
Paula is not a French but a Scot.
Wonderful. So our answer will be Paula is not a French but a Scot. Thank you. Number 3. Faster, faster. Namasazi. Read number 3. Namasazi. Number 3. Unmute, please. Namasazi. Namasazi. Chirabo Claire. Chirabo Claire, read number 3 and give us the answer.
She is not a Somali. A Somali.
Yes.
He is a Ghanaian.
She is.
She is not a Somali but a Ghanaian.
A Ghanaian.
A Ghanaian.
Good. Okay. Thank you very much, girls, for today. We've run out of time. So we've ended our lesson. Thank you for being attentive. I believe that having gone through the nationalities, both the adjectives and the nouns, you can easily answer the remaining part of set 1. So make sure you answer that remaining part.
Yes, teacher.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, teacher. Thank you, teacher.
Thank you, teacher.
On Friday.
Teacher.
Thank
Thank you, teacher.
Thank you,
Thank you, teacher.
Bye.
Someone here. Hi. Guys.
Bye.
What is the lesson? What is the lesson?
Please. Was in. You took it. You guys.
Yesu omwana akatonda omulamu agenda endwaire d'omutima lya Yesu ogera ekyombo ekyo ku itaka mu liina lya Mukama Yesu omwana alamu Hello, good morning, everyone. I hope you are very fine. And I want to take this opportunity to welcome you back since last Tuesday. Today we are going to start with our science, and I expect everyone to pay attention as we go through our work. I hope everyone has got his or her paper, set one. So we are going to go through our work for set one. Last time we looked at two items. We looked at properties of matter. We looked at matter. We looked at all those ones. So today we are going to start with mixtures. So I expect each and everyone to get ready there on mixtures. So we want to understand what is a mixture, and then we see how best we can do that. So when we say a mixture, as the word suggests, comes from to mix. When we say a mixture, we are looking at two or more things, something that is you combine. So we shall find that a mixture is a combination of two or more substances. When you combine two substances, then that's what you get as a mixture. Then we shall come to look at examples of mixtures. We shall look at examples of mixtures, and then we shall start with. So as we said, a mixture is a combination of two or more substances. We are looking at when we mix two or more substances, that becomes a mixture. Then we shall come to types of mixtures, as I said. Can I ask Natural Mary to give us an example of any mixture that she knows? Natural, please. Natural, can I hear from you? Okay, Natural is not giving us, and so let's hear from Naiga Rose. Naiga Rose, please unmute. Naiga, unmute and then tell us. Oh, okay. So let's look at the examples. I mean, types of mixtures. The first one, we said we have the solid mixtures. We have the solid mixtures.
Liquid mixtures and solid and liquid mixtures.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Then we have liquid mixtures. When we talk about solid mixtures, automatically those are mixtures from solids. Liquids, we mix solids only. Remember, we talked about states of matter. So when I say liquid, I think you understand what I mean. Then we talked about solid and liquid mixtures. So now we think of a solid and maybe a liquid. When we mix them, then we get what we call a solid and liquid mixture. Then we shall start with the liquid mixtures. Liquid mixtures. Now, based on our definition of a mixture, can I request Patience Namuri to define for us a liquid mixture? You basing on the definition of mixtures, what are liquid mixtures?
Liquid mixtures are mixtures obtained by combining two or more liquids.
Very good. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Patience. So we combine two or more liquids. We are moving in liquids. So we are meaning you mix only liquids, and that gives us a liquid mixture. So we shall find that liquid mixtures are mixtures obtained by combining two or more liquids. And I request Tasneem, please read for us that definition of liquid mixtures. Tasneem. Yes, I'm listening. I'm here. Can you give us? Okay. Okay, let me get from Kutesa. Kutesa Divine. Kutesa Divine, read for us the definition of liquid mixtures. Unmute, please, Kutesa.
These are mixtures obtained by combining two or more liquids.
Say it again.
These are mixtures obtained by combining two or more liquids.
Very good. So when we combine two or more liquids, we get what we call liquid mixtures. Now, I want someone to tell me examples of a mixture that can be got as a result of combining two or more liquids. Can I request Immaculate, unmute and give us one example of a liquid mixture?
Water and paraffin.
Very good. Very good, Immaculate. We have water and paraffin. Those two things, both of them are liquids. So when we combine them, we get a liquid mixture. Can I get from Maclean? Maclean, please unmute. Mulaya Maclean. Maclean. Okay. Give us an example.
Water and oil.
Water and oil. Beautiful. Can I get from Liana Subi? Liana, can you give us another example of liquid mixtures?
Yes, teacher.
Yes, give an example.
Water and alcohol.
Sorry?
Water and alcohol.
Very good. Water and alcohol. Both of them are liquids. So let's go on. Thank you so much, girls. Then we shall look at these examples. One, we have water and paraffin, as someone said, water and ethanol, that is water and alcohol. Then we have water and oil. So all those examples are examples of liquid mixture. So we are combining liquids. Then we shall also come to the solid mixtures. The solid mixtures. Now, I want someone, can I hear from Adrian Patricia? Please, can you define for us solid mixtures, based on the definition of mixtures? What are solid mixtures? Adrian Patricia? Unmute. I can't hear you. Please, let me get from Wejule Doreen. Wejule Doreen, please unmute. And define for us all the mixtures. Okay, she can't, we are not getting you, please. Let me get from Aiwaziwe. Aiwaziwe, please unmute and define for us all the mixtures.
Solid mixtures are obtained when two or more solids are combined together.
Can you start with that these are mixtures obtained, then you add there.
Solid mixtures are those obtained when two or more solids are combined together.
Very good. Thank you so much. The idea there is to see that you have combined two solids, two or more solids. They can be 2, 3, 4, 5, as long as they are solids. We say that one is a solid mixture. So we shall find that a solid mixture, these are mixtures obtained by or obtained when two or more solids are combined together. So that gives us what we call solid mixtures. Now, I want us to look at examples of solid mixtures. Examples of solid mixtures. Can I request Chirabo Claire, please unmute and give us an example of a solid mixture.
Sand and millet.
Very good. Thank you so much. Sand and millet. We shall find sand is a solid, millet is a solid. You get a point. So both of them are solids. Someone is putting up the hand. I don't know, as a question. Okay, let's go on. Let's go on. We shall ask, I will ask now Kenya Martha. Now Kenya, please, can you give us another example of a solid mixture? Now Kenya Mary. Now Kenya, please.
Stones and rice.
Very good, very good. Stones and rice. You know what? We always see them, we see stones in rice when we want to prepare, and then, but we shall come to how we can also separate them. Let's continue and we give an example as we give examples. Can I request at Nicole, Nicole, to give us an example of solid mixture?
Sand and millet.
Sand and millet. Very good. So members, let's go on. So we have the first examples. One, we have sand and millet, as someone has said, stone and rice. Then we have beans and rice. You know, they are different. Beans and rice, they are different. So it becomes a mixture when you combine them together, when you put them together. Then we have beans and husks. Those ones also are examples of solid mixtures. Now, we want to look at the solid and liquid mixtures. I request, can I request the Komhanj, please, can you unmute and define for us solid and liquid mixtures?
I beg your pardon, teacher.
Define for us solid and liquid mixtures, basing on the other definitions of mixtures we have looked at.
These are mixtures obtained by combining solids and liquids.
Very good. They are mixtures which are obtained by combining solids and liquids together, and then you get what we call solid and liquid mixtures. So we are saying that these are mixtures obtained by combining solids and liquids. These are mixtures obtained by combining solids and liquids. Those are what we call solid and liquid mixtures. So members, we need to go on and we look at examples. Can I ask Chirabo Claire. Chirabo, can you give us one example of liquid and solid mixed? Unmute, please.
Muddy water.
Very good. Muddy water. Now, what is the combination in the muddy water? Can you give me the combination of those two muddy water you are talking about?
Sand and water.
Very good. You'll find out there is a combination of sand and water. Now, sand becomes a solid, and then water becomes a liquid, which means that's the combination of a solid and a liquid. Can I get another example? An example from Noera, Mugisha Noera. Mugisha, can you give me another example? Mugisha, please unmute and give us an example. Okay, so let's get from Mwesigwa. Mwesigwa, please give us an example of solid mixture, solid and liquid mixtures. Unmute, please.
Sand and water.
Sand and water. Okay, thank you so much. Sand and water. Kasozi, can you give us another example? Unmute, please. Oh, okay. Let me get from Avalinde Divine. Avalinde Divine. Give us an example. Okay, members, thank you so much. Let's go on. One, we have muddy and water, sand and water, and other examples that you can see. For example, when you're going to make juice, and after squeezing, sometimes you find there are some juice and then some seeds. That can also become an example of solid and liquid mixture. When you put, for example, in a blender, you have put some seeds, you see some seeds, but your target is to get the juice. So there are two substances there. There is a solid, those are seeds. Then liquid, that is the juice you want. So that can also be an example of solid and liquid mixtures. So let's go on and we look at the methods. Now we have looked at those mixtures. But now, after getting those mixtures, can we separate them? Girls, can we now separate the mixtures that we talked about? So we want to look at the methods that we can use to separate those mixtures. The first one, I request Maria Rauma. Maria Rauma, please unmute and read for us the first method. Mara Rauma. Okay, can I get from Naroga, Rachel? Please, members, when I ask you, please, you unmute and give us the answer. Naroga, we are listening to you. Unmute. Okay, can I get from Ayeta, Emanuela? Ayeta, please unmute and read for us the first method.
Filtration.
Read it again.
Filtration.
Thank you so much. We have filtration. Can I ask Asianut Akrut, read for us the second one? I can't hear you. Please unmute.
Decantation.
Read it again.
Decantation.
The word is decantation. Decantation. Can you say it again?
Decantation.
Very good. We have decantation as method number 2. We shall look at all of them. Don't mind, girls. We want to first look at the list of them, and then we shall talk about one by one. Then we have another one which we called flotation. Everyone, I think, can I request Mawanda Sanyi? Sanyi, please. To read for us the third one.
Using a magnet.
Read what is displayed. Can you read the third one, which is on your either your gadget?
Flotation.
It is a flotation.
Flotation.
So the word is flotation. Okay, thank you so much. Then we have another one. Can I request Nowera Mugisha? No, Mugisha has already given us. Nyapendi give us. Nyapendi Francis.
Yes, teacher.
Can you read for us the fourth method?
Evaporation to dryness.
Very beautiful. Evaporation to dryness. Evaporation to dryness. Then we have another method. Can I request Lacote Patience? Lacote Patience, please unmute and read for us the fifth one. Lacote.
Use as separating phenol.
Read it properly.
Using a separating funnel.
Using a separating funnel. The word is funnel. Can you read it again?
Using a separating funnel.
Yes, using a separating funnel. So we shall come to all. Then we have another method. Can I request Nantale Angela to read for us the sixth method? Natalie, please unmute. Okay, can I get from Chimbali, Michelle? Kimbali, Michelle? Kimbali, Michelle? Unmute and read for us the sixth method. I can't get you, please.
Using a magnet.
Very good. Can you repeat it?
Using a magnet.
Beautiful. Using a magnet. Then we shall come to another method. And I request Gloria. Gloria, please, can you read for us the next, that is the seventh method? Gloria? The seventh.
Very well.
Sorry?
The seventh.
Yes.
Hand picking or sorting.
Beautiful. Hand picking or sorting. Hand picking or sorting. So those are some of our, then we have the last one, I think. Can I request Tuhaise Martha? Tuhaise Martha, can you read for us the eighth method? Tuhaise, please unmute. Okay, let me get from Amuge, please. Amuge, give us, read for us. Unmute Amuge and read for us the eighth method.
Winnowing.
Say it again.
Winnowing.
Winnowing. So those are some of the methods which we use. Can I ask Navide Keira, spell for us the word winnowing. Please, Navide, please unmute. She's not responding. Can I get from Asim Abigail? Asimwe, unmute and give and spell for us the word winnowing. Assuming you're not responding, okay, let's go on. So we want to look at separation of mixtures by filtration. Separating mixtures by filtration, or using filtration method as our first method. So when we say the word filtration, it comes from the word to filter. Now, can I ask Antonia? Antonia, please, can you read for us the definition of filtration? What is filtration?
Filtration is the process of separating solid particles from a liquid.
Now, thank you so much. Thank you so much, please. So we are saying we are now separating solid from liquids. Now that takes us to our mixture of solid and liquid mixture. Now that's the mixture we are separating using filtration. Okay, so when we are looking at filtration, we mean that we are separating solid and liquid mixture, which means it is hard for us to use another method, maybe to separate these two substances. So basically, we shall need to use filtration when we are separating a solid and a liquid. So now when we look at that, we shall need to look at the materials. We are going to look at, I think you can do it from home, and the materials we need are not all that expensive. You can even use the things at home to carry out this. Basically, we shall need a filter paper. You may not have a filter paper, but you have a sieve. The one you use when you are making juice from maybe pineapple, maybe from passion fruits, anything, you get it. Then you can use, of course, I know you must have a funnel. Then we shall also need a mixture. Now, in this case, let's take an example of when we want to make juice. We have got our seeds, we have got our passion fruits. Now, we want to get juice from them. What do we need to do? We need to get the filter, we shall get a funnel, and of course, that mixture of juice and the seeds. Then we shall need a container where we shall get our juice, where we shall collect our juice from. Now, in this case, we shall need to know the steps. And I request Kamara Mimi, please, what do you think can be the first step when we are going to separate, or we are going to make the juice, maybe from those?
Get a funnel and place it in a container.
Very good. You get a funnel and place it in a container. Remember, we have already got our mix of juice. Thank you so much, Mimi. So we are saying you get a funnel and place it in a container. Then after placing it, what do you do next? What do we do next? Can I ask you? Can I ask Nava Shamira to give us the second step? After putting the funnel in a container, what do we do? Please unmute. Okay. Now we on. Can you give us the second one? Now we on. Please unmute. Yes, give us the second one.
A mixture of juices and seeds.
Give us the second step. What do we do after?
And pour the mixture into a funnel.
Repeat it again. Can you repeat?
Add a filter in a funnel and pour the mixture into the funnel.
Yes, our steps are very simple. One, we need to get a funnel and we place it in a container. The other container I told you that we are going to collect our juice from. So you get a funnel, you put it on top. Then in a funnel, put a filter paper. If you don't have a filter paper, please use a filter. You can use a sieve. These sieves you use at home. Then from there, you add the filter. You add the filter, and then on top of the filter, you have to add there a mixture of the liquids and the solid you want to separate. All right. So as you're going to see it here. So when you look at the setup, you see we have the solid and the liquids. I hope everyone is seeing that. Then we have the filter paper in our funnel. You can see how it is placed. Now, when we try to pour the solids and liquid mixture, of course, the liquid will pass through the filter paper or the sieve. And when it passes through, we shall collect it in the container, which we talked about, our container. And now, after collecting that liquid, scientifically, we shall call it, someone tell me, how shall we call it? Aleo. No. Serena, please. Serena Daniela. What scientific name shall be given to that juice or that liquid collected?
Filtrate.
Very good. It will be called the filtrate. It will be called the filtrate. Some people's hands are up as if they want to ask something. Can I request Nakabidi Matilda? Nakabidi Matilda, please. Can you ask your question?
They can hear me.
Yes, Nakabidi, please, I can get you.
Teachers unmuted me.
No, I can get you.
Yes, teacher.
I see your hand up.
No, I wanted to read.
You wanted to read? Okay. Now, if you wanted to read for us the observation. Nakabi, can you read for us the observation? Okay. Okay, thank you so much. However, you have not given us, you said you wanted to read. Okay, let's see the observation. I can't get you well. Okay, can I get from Blessing, Esther? Blessings, Esther. Esther, can you read for us the observation? Unmute, please.
Clear liquid will be collected in the container and solid particles will remain on a filter in the funnel.
Very good. So scientifically, we shall say that the liquid which has been collected in a container, that clear liquid, we shall call it a filtrate. We shall call it a filtrate. Then the substances, the solid particles, which will remain in the filter, we shall call it the residues. We shall call it the residues. So that's what we need to know. So let's look at ways in which filtration method is used in our homes. I want to ask Kaya Ashley. Kaya Ashley, please, can you tell us one way you think we can use this method of filtration in our homes, in our daily life, at school? How can, basically, now as you're at home, how can you use filtration? How can you apply the knowledge? Ashley, Kaya. Please, can you unmute? Yes, can you tell us? Okay, can I get from Can I get from Atwaire Maria? Atwaire Maria, how can we use the knowledge of filtration at home? How can we use it?
When separating fruit juice from seeds.
Very good. I know you make juice at home. So when you are making juice, some of you do things and you think those are not scientific things. When you are making juice, that is a scientific understanding you apply. You are trying to use the knowledge of science to separate juice from the seeds, and you get your juice you enjoy, and you say, someone would say, you have made juice, but someone may not know that you have used science to get that juice. That is science at home. So can we get another way? How can you use filtration? Annabelle, please unmute and tell us.
When separating tea leaves from tea.
Yes, when we make tea, sometimes we add tea leaves, and then those tea leaves, sometimes they appear funny in our tea. So we have to remove them. And so we have to use that method of filtration. Okay, can I get from Teresa? Teresa, can you give me another way how we can apply the knowledge of filtration in our daily life?
Separating tea leaves from tea.
That one was already said. Can you give us another one? Okay, thank you so much. We can also get it when we want to obtain. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you, Teresa. So we shall also find that when we are obtaining clean water from muddy water, we can also filter. By the way, sometimes you can use simple filtration. May I remember sometimes you could get clean water using a cloth. You get a cloth, for example, you go to a river to get water and you find the water is dirty, you want to wash clothes. And what do? You get one of the clothes, you get a basin. Now the basin in this case will become a container. The cloth will become a filter. Now you get your muddy water, you want to get it. Get someone who help you, you hold the cloth, then you pour water in on a cloth. Now the clean water will be collected in a basin. And then at the end, you will find you have got some water for washing your clothes. Now, when you apply that, still you are using filtration method. It does not mean that you must use things of maybe science or what, but you can do it locally using a cloth. A cloth acts as a filter. Then you get your clean water. And after that, you will see the residue. You will see them on the cloth, which means that those are solid particles. Because as you are filtering, it is the liquid that will pass. And when it passes, then the residues will remain on top of the filter. So in here we have when separating fruit juice from seeds, as someone said. We also have when obtaining clean water from muddy water, which I've just talked about, and then separating leaves from tea. So in this case, those are some of the ways, but there are other ways how we can apply filtration in our daily life. So let's look at another method. Can I request Namagunga? Namagunga Kabri?
Yes, teacher.
Can you read for us the method? You read for us that the method, the second method, and then you define for us.
Decantation method.
Yes, then what is it?
This is the process when solid particles are allowed to settle at the bottom of a liquid, and then a liquid is carefully poured off to separate it from solid particles.
Very good. So when we are separating solid mixtures, we can still use decantation. We can use decantation. I request, can I request Alex Ojambo? Ojambo, can you please Spell for us the word decantation. We are waiting. Oh, okay. Can I get from Niger Rose?
D-E G-A-T-I-O-N.
Can you spell at least 2 letters at a time?
D-E-C-T-A-T D-E-C-T-A-T-I-O-N.
Sorry, repeat it again. Can you repeat it?
D-E-C-T-A-T
C-A.
C-A.
Can you start it fresh?
D-E.
Yes.
C-A. T-A.
N-T. It is okay. Thank you so much. Decantation is D-E-C-A-N-T-A-T-I-O-N. The word is decantation. Okay. So let's look. We are saying when we allow the process when solid particles are allowed to settle at the bottom of a liquid, and then a liquid is carefully poured off to separate it from the solid particles. Here, what we need is how can we carry it on? How can we carry out decantation? These are things we shall need. Nabila Daniela, please, can you read for us the requirements, the first one, second one, and others? Nabila.
Mixture of liquid and solid particles.
Good. And then the next one.
Empty container.
Yes. Thank you so much. So we shall need, thank you so much. We shall need the mixture of liquid and solid particles. Remember, filtration, we said we are separating a solid and a liquid. Even decantation, we are separating a solid and a liquid. So we shall need a mixture of liquids, of a liquid and a solid, or maybe a mixture of solids and liquids. Then we shall need an empty container. Very simple. Now, what do you do? The first step. Now, Gabriela, can you read for us the first step? Gabriela Navuga.
Get a mixture of liquid and solid particles and leave them to settle for some time.
Very good. You get a mixture of liquids and solid particles and leave them to settle for some time. Then after that, what do we do? Immaculate. Number 2.
Carefully pour the water in another container before the solid particles pour.
Yes, so you carefully turn slowly the container, then the clean water will flow to the other container. And then the residues, all the solid particles will remain, and they will remain in the other container. They will remain in the container which had a mixture. So then we shall also come to how does it look like? Now, when we look at this diagram, I hope everyone is seeing it. So we shall see that we have the container which has the sediments. We can call them the mixture of solid and liquids. And then after there, we shall try to pour gently or carefully, as you see the diagram. Then you will see that the clean water will be obtained And even when you check, you will see clear water. The clear water will be obtained. And then the sediment will remain in the container which had a mixture of solid and liquids, which shows that we have separated, at least we have got our clear water. Now, then when we look at that glass rod, will help us to decant, will help us to will help the clear water to flow into the container where we are collecting the clear water from. So then I think that is what we call decantation, and that's how we can obtain that clear water. So let's go on and look at observation. Now, when we look at observation, we shall say that clear water will be collected in another container. Then the residue of all the liquid, the solid particles will remain in the container which we had in the mixture, right? So let's look at what we need to know about this. That the water which is obtained by filtration and decantation is not safe for drinking at that time before it is boiled, because it contains germs. Filtration does not kill germs. Decantation does not kill germs. So what we need to do, of course, we have to boil in case we want to drink it. All right? So don't decant your water and say, now it is clear water, now I can drink. No, that water still contains germs. So we say that water which is obtained is not safe for drinking at that time because it contains germs. You can drink it after boiling it, or maybe after putting some chemicals to kill the germs in water. That's when you can take that water. So let's go on. We are looking at the third method. We are looking at the third method, and that is what we call evaporation. Evaporation to dryness. Evaporation to dryness. Now, as the method states, of course, we shall evaporate. There must be evaporation taking place. And then we must evaporate until our mixture dries. So we are looking at, that's why we call it evaporation to dryness. So we shall find that this is a method used to separate solids, or I mean, to separate solutes from a solution. This method is commonly used when you see, for example, you can use it also to separate solid particles from a solute. For example, if, for example, you are going for, they have sent you for salt, and then as you are coming, you reach on the way the salt pours in sand. And then you are like, how can I get my salt? How would I get it? So you can use that method of evaporation to dryness to get your salt. As we are going to see, how can we carry it on? So we say this method is used to separate solutes from a solution, or it can also be used to separate salts or salt mixture in sand or soil, as I said. So let's look at the materials that we may need to use. Can I request Muton Martha to read for us the method, I mean the materials that we may need to use. Muton, please unmute and read for us.
Mixture of salt and sand.
Very good.
Filter. And funnel.
And a funnel. Now, when we are using this one, we shall apply the knowledge of filtration at one point, because we shall need to get that to obtain a liquid and then a solid. Now I said, now assume you have poured your salt, your salt in maybe in sand. Now we want to get our salt back. That is our target. Now what we need to do, we shall also need a container and then a source of heat. In this case, we shall boil. We shall need a source of heat, a container, a mixture, and the liquid, and then a funnel. Now, how can we carry it on? Can I ask Nandaura? Nandaura, Alicia? Nandaura, please unmute and read for us the first step.
Add water to the mixture of salt and sand.
Very good. Add water, the mixture of sand and salt. Now, as we said, your salt has poured in sand. It has mixed, but you want your salt. Now, what we do, we have also to add water again. Now, I want to ask you a question. What do you think will happen to salt? Can I ask, Rena to tell me what will happen to salt when I add water?
Salt will dissolve when we add water to the mixture.
Very good, very good, very good. So we shall find that when we add water in our mixture, of course, and we stir, of course, after putting their salt, water, we shall stir. Then after that, we shall find that the salt will dissolve. And once it dissolves, it means it has left what? It has left the sand. It is now in water. You get the point? Then, after we said you start the mixture for the salt to dissolve. Then we shall also find that after the water, after the salt has dissolved into the water, we need to filter the solution. Remember, now the salt has left sand. It is in salt. It is in water. Now, what do? We filter. As the steps we went through during our steps, so our method of separating using filtration. We shall get a sieve or a filter paper, we get a container, then we pour, and then the clear liquid will pass through the sieve. And when it passes through the sieve, what do we have in our container? What is in a mixture now of salt? A mixture in a container of the clear water. We shall find that the mixture which is in the container will be a mixture of salt and water, and that will be a solution. Now, in this case, we have seen that we no longer have salt in the other sand. Now, salt is in the water. So when it is in water, we shall now boil that solution which we have got. Now, when we boil or when we heat, okay, we shall heat or boil the solution to dryness. Of course, what we are saying, we shall boil and boil and boil. Now, when we boil, what will happen? I want to, can I ask Biamukama to tell me what will happen when we boil the solution of salt and that solution of salt and water? Biamukama, what will happen? Biamukama, can you tell us what will happen?
They will heat and boil. The water will evaporate, yes, and the salt will remain in the container.
Beautiful. So, thank you so much. When we
You're welcome, teacher.
When we boil, the water will evaporate. And when it evaporates, automatically it will leave salt in a container. Because we are saying we have to evaporate to dryness, evaporation until the container becomes dry. We want the water to escape. As we are boiling, the water will escape. And when it escapes, it will leave with us our salt. And that we shall have achieved our target. We shall have got our salt bag, which was mixed in sand. So please, let's go on. Let's go on with observation. Our observation will be that the water, that is the setup before we go to observation. That is the setup. When you look at the first step, we have the solvent, that is the impurity. And then below it, you see the word star to dissolve the salt. When we start, then we go to step number 2. On step number 2, we are boiling, evaporating basin. We are using can use a saucepan. So we are boiling on step number 2. We boil. Now the solution is heated to evaporate most of the solvent. So it will evaporate, the liquid will evaporate. In this case, will evaporate. Gabi Nakarema. Can I request Nakarema Gabi? She has a question, please. Can you ask that question?
Teacher, I just wanted to read.
Can you say it again?
I just wanted to read.
Oh, you wanted to read. Okay. Next time I'm going to give you to read and get ready to read. Okay. So we go to step number 3. We shall see the hot solution is allowed to cool. So the solid appears as pure crystals. Crystals are like particles of salt. Then after, you can put it on maybe a filter so that if maybe there was some water which remained, it can maybe pass through, and then you remain with your salt. So that's the method, evaporation to dryness. Our observation, Nakarema, please, can you read for us? I promise that you read for us the next. Can you read for us the observation?
The water will evaporate and the salt will remain in the container.
Very good. The water will evaporate. I want you to understand that the water will evaporate and then the salt will remain in the container. Then we shall have achieved, we shall have obtained our salt. Then let's go on because we are time bad. I see we are time bad. We're even late somehow. But let's finish up this activity, this one. So let's look at the ways in which evaporation is important in our daily life. The ways in which evaporation is important in our daily life. Can I request Elizabeth? Elizabeth, please read for us the first way or ways in which we can use evaporation in our daily life.
It is used to get salt from lakes and seas.
Yes, I think some of you have ever gone to Lake Katwe. They get water from the lake. They use channels to channel water into their ponds or areas where they get salt from. And then they leave those areas where they get salt from to be exposed to the sunshine. And then the water will keep on evaporating. And then at the end of it all, they will obtain salt. Okay, so that is what that method is used in obtaining salt from salty lakes. Evaporation to dryness is used to obtain salt from salty lakes. Then number 2, can I request Nanos, please read for us number 2. We are time, but please, can we get faster? Ayabaziwe, can you read for us number 2? Ayabaziwe, unmute. And then read.
Filter the mixture to get salt solution.
We are on ways on which evaporation is important in our daily life. So we can read number 2.
It helps to dry our clothes at home.
Yes, girls, I request you to follow me very well. I think the work is displayed so you can see where we are. So we are saying it helps to dry our clothes at home because we expose them to the sunshine, and then the water will evaporate and leaves the cloth. And then at the end of it, we shall get a dry cloth. Then number 3, it also helps in the formation of rainfall in water cycle. So when we are looking at rain cycle, we shall find that that method is there, evaporation. Evaporation is there. So it also helps us. Then we shall look at the solution very fast as we conclude our lesson. We need to know what is the solution. What is a solution? Can I request Assumpta, please define for us a solution. What is a solution? Assumpta?
A solution is a uniform mixture of a solute and a solvent.
Very good. Is a uniform mixture of a solute and a solvent. We are saying that a solution, to get a solution must be uniform. A solution must be uniform. Can you give me an example of a solution? Can I request Nambasa? Nambasa Ann. Nambasa Ann, can you give us an example of a solution?
Sugar salt solution.
Sugar salt solution. Very good. That means you dissolve salt and sugar in water. You get what we call sugar salt solution. Then we also have sugar solution, and then we shall also have salt solution. We shall also have the glucose solution, because glucose can also dissolve. So we have those 4 examples of solutions. So those are examples of solutions. But before we go on, someone talked about a solute. So what is a solute? We need to know what is a solute. Narukwago, please, Donna Narukwago, please, can you define for us a solute? Donna?
Solute is a substance that can dissolve in a solvent.
Very good. As we said, it is a substance that can dissolve in a solvent. Now, there comes a new term, a solvent. So we need to know what is a solvent. Before we go to the solvent, let's look at examples of solutes. Examples of solutes. Janetta, please. Can you give us an example of a solute?
Pardon, teacher.
Give an example of a solute. You are not. Can you tell us, please? Okay, now Noella. Noeline, please.
Sugar.
Very good. We have sugar. Can I get from Audrey? Audrey, please. Unmute and tell us another example. Audrey, please. I hear the noise in the background. Okay, can I get
Milk
from
powder.
Okay, thank you so much. Milk powder. Can I get from Nangendo? Nangendo, please. Nangendo, give us another example. Unmute. Nangendo, please.
Yes, teacher.
Can you give an example of a solute? Okay. I can't hear you. Okay, thank you so much, glucose. We have seen, we have one, we have salt, we have sugar, we have glucose, and then milky powder. Then we have a solvent. A solvent, we have said, is a substance that dissolves in a solute. A substance that dissolves a solute. That's what we call a solvent. I want to be faster and we end this. And then we have examples of solvents. We have water, petrol, methylated spirit, and then diesel. So those are some of the examples. They are not all, but those are some of the examples of solvents, which means they dissolve solutes. Note what you have to know, that the water is referred as a universal solvent because it dissolves almost all solutes. They will ask you a question, why is water referred to as a universal solvent? So I expect you to say water dissolves almost all solutes. Then when substances do not dissolve completely in water, they remain with some undissolved particles. So we call those ones, we call that solution or a mixture, we call it a suspension. We call it a suspension. So we have our activity. I want to go through it very fast so that you are able to answer. Number one, we are saying what is a solution. Who can give, someone give me the answer? Hannah Muhanji. Can you define for us? Can you give the answer for number one? Muhanji. Muhanji, please. Okay, can I get from Alek? Alek, please. Alek, unmute and define for us number one. Give the answer for number one. Give the meaning of a solution.
A solution is a uniform mixture of a solvent and a solute.
Very good. A solution is a substance formed when a solution dissolves in a solvent or a uniform mixture of a solvent and a solute. And we look at number two. Why does salt dissolve? Why does salt dissolve in water? Can I request Julie Doreen? Julie, please. Can you give the reason why salt dissolves in water?
Water is a universal solvent.
Why does salt dissolve in water? Okay, so we shall find that the reason why salt dissolves in water. Thank you for trying. The reason why salt dissolves in water, we shall find that salt is soluble in water. When we say soluble in water, it means it is able to dissolve. Or someone can also say that it is a solute. It is a solute. Nangovi. Okay, I think the other answers, we shall answer that activity because time has not allowed us to complete all. But you can go through your activity and put down your answers. I think there are 5 numbers. So you make sure you answer all because we have talked about all of them. So I want to thank you, girls, for the participation. And I request some of you who are not paying attention. I saw some people were just on the bed, standing. Let me hope next time you settle, because we are learning. So I want to wish you a nice day.
Thank you, teacher.
Thank you, teacher.
Thank you, teacher.
For your service.
Teacher, for your service. May God
Have a break.
Hi, teacher. Thank you.
A break and make sure until you are back in class.
Eat your food, please.